You're watching Good Day Tampa Bay, and the news starts now.
Ringing in the new year around the world, the celebrations, resolutions, and new hope for a new year.
2017 got you down? I'm Lauren Blanchard in Washington. I'll have a few things you can look forward to in the new year. That's all straight ahead.
And fans have been pouring into Tampa for today's Outback Bowl, participating in all kinds of events for the last few days. All the pregame preps. This hour on Good Day Tampa Bay, we're talking about it.
All right, it's going to be a good game. Very excited about it. It is 6 o'clock on your Monday. It is New Year's Day, and I'm Walter Allen.
I'm Laura Moody. Good morning, everybody. Dave, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to all of you, too. The first day of the year.
Yes, indeed. Happy New Year to you as well. We bring in a new year. Let's bring in a new air mass, right? Yeah, that's just good timing, I guess. We actually have some showers on Sky Tower radar this morning, but for those going out to the game at Raymond James today, while I think there may be a few sprinkles by game time, the majority of the showers should be out of here. So this morning, a little bit of rain, the wind's starting to take over. So what's happening now is we're bringing a cold front through the area. The front itself will just linger to the south, and the colder air starts to pour in for later today. So you've got temperatures for most of us in the 50s right now, even close to 60 degrees, but we're not going to get much warmer than this. That's the thing. A lot of cloud cover today, occasional showers this morning with temperatures falling this afternoon. And by 5 o'clock, we're going to be back into the mid 50s. Much colder tonight. Those details in a few minutes.
All right. We'll see you then, Dave. Thank you. The glittering crystal ball dropped with a burst of confetti and dazzling fireworks as revelers rang in 2018 in frigid temperatures in Times Square. Forecasters predicted it, and they were right. This was the second coldest celebration on record. It was only 10 degrees Fahrenheit in the city. So the Times Square celebration was a lot less crowded than other years. Some of the metal pens, usually packed with people, were only partially full. They were bundled up in hats and gloves, face masks, layers of clothing. The partygoers danced and hugged and kissed. As the ball dropped, though, they made it. New Zealand welcoming 2018. They were the first country to ring in the new year. Celebrations began with a countdown on Auckland's Sky Tower, followed by the fireworks display. Over 3,000 fireworks lit up the night sky. Look at that. Sky Tower celebrates its 20th anniversary in 2018.
Fireworks lit up the sky as Taiwan rings in 2018. Revelers making their way to catch the display on the historic bridge over the Kauai River in the Kanchanaburi province in an attempt to increase tourism in the 5 second-tier provinces in Thailand in 2018. New Year celebrations were hosted by Thailand's tourism authority. Paris rang in the new year with the light show on the Arc de Triomphe. Crowds rang in the new year with much anticipation, and in Brazil, a spectacular fireworks show over the bay brought crowds from all around the world.
And so, with 2017 now in the books, we've got a fresh new year ahead of us.
And a lot of things to look forward to. Fox News correspondent Lauren Blanchard is in Washington with a look at what lies ahead.
The ball has dropped, the confetti has fallen, and here's a quick look at some of the things you can look forward to in 2018.
The Big Easy celebrates a big birthday. In February, New Orleans will mark its 300th birthday with special events, fireworks, and concerts. That same month, the world will unite to watch athletes from all over the globe compete at the Winter Olympics in South Korea. The games taking place amid heightened tensions with North Korea and with Russia's Olympic team banned from competition.
This decision should draw a line under this damaging episode and serve as a catalyst for a more effective and more robust anti-doping system.
In May, we'll get an American princess, sort of. Actress Meghan Markle is set to wed Prince Harry in St. George's Chapel at Windsor Castle.
Meghan, how are you feeling?
And don't forget, that will be shortly after Prince William and Kate Middleton welcome royal baby number 3.
William and I are absolutely thrilled. It's such exciting news. It's a really happy time for any couple, and we wish them all the best and hope they enjoy this happy moment.
And in case the last election cycle wasn't enough, all eyes will be on President Trump in his second year in office. His agenda is expected to play a large role leading up to the midterm elections in November.
We have more legislative victories than any other president.
And we'll be here to cover it all as the year unfolds. In Washington, Lauren Blanchard, Fox News.
Switching gears now at 6:05 to a very serious note. The Gulfport community is in shock over the arrest of one of their neighbors accused of molesting a child during a sleepover. This morning, police fear there could be more victims. Saturday night, Gulfport police arrested 57-year-old Jason Forgetta. Police say a girl under the age of 12 told her mom Forgetta committed a sex act with her Friday night. The child and 2 others were sleeping over at a family member's home. Police say Forgetta was in a relationship with. During their investigation, police uncovered a second victim, also under the age of 12, who they believe Forgetta committed sex acts on at least twice during the past year. Gulfport police also say he took photos and videos during those incidents. Forgetta's father tells us his son Joseph has lived with them for the last 7 years and is just as shocked as neighbors.
They haven't said anything else. We don't know.
We don't know anything.
All I read was in the report and on the newspaper, on the website. That's the only thing I heard.
I mean, what was your reaction when you heard what he was accused of doing?
I don't know. I'm too shocked.
Police say parents in the neighborhood will now have a crucial yet uncomfortable conversation with their children to see if there were any other victims. Stepfather in Seffner is under arrest for murder. Police say the victim was his stepson. Deputies arrested 31-year-old Jack Jr. Montgomery for aggravated child abuse and first-degree felony murder in the death of his 7-year-old stepson Bryce Russell. Montgomery called 911 Saturday at the Masters Inn to report that Russell was not breathing. Detectives later determined Montgomery had punched the child in the face, mouth, and stomach with a closed fist, threw him around the hotel room, and shoved his face in the carpet before he died. Deputies say Montgomery was watching Russell and his 3 other siblings while their mother was working. The children told detectives that Montgomery threatened to hurt them if they didn't join in hitting their brother, which only one child did. We're learning this isn't Montgomery's first violent arrest. His prior history dating back to 2006, including several charges for battery, domestic battery, and disorderly conduct.
It is at 6:07, and a man shoots his nephew, the nephew's wife, and then shoots and kills himself. And this all happened Saturday night in Polk City. Polk County Sheriff's Office says 68-year-old Ricky Stipe shot and killed his nephew, 65-year-old James Hanks. Stipe then shot Hanks's wife, 59-year-old Kathleen, before turning the gun on himself. Kathleen is recovering from the gunshot wound at the hospital. Stipe's wife, Carolyn, saw the entire incident and was also taken to the hospital. Investigators say just before 8 Saturday night, Stipe was angry, and when Hanks confronted him, his uncle got his handgun and started shooting. We're told Stipe struggled with mental health issues and refused to take medication for it. The Stipes are from Kentucky, and they drove their motorhome to visit the Hanks for a few months. Haines City Police name a suspect after several people were attacked at 2 stores. They say they're looking for 34-year-old Dante Johnson, whose last known address is on D Street in Lake Wales. Police say that he drives a 2000 green Ford Explorer and is known to frequent Pinellas County. Investigators say on Thursday he beat 2 customers at a CVS pharmacy in Haines City. A few days earlier, officers say 2 Walmart employees in Lake Wales were attacked for no apparent reason.
A disturbing discovery in Sarasota County. Someone found what deputies say appear to be human remains. They were found in a vacant lot on Ravenna Street, north in Nokomis. Investigators say they got a tip about the possibility of human remains being buried in that area. Forensic technicians say they do appear to be human. Detectives are now trying to figure out who the remains belong to, as well as the cause of death. They say there is no threat to the public. A St. Petersburg man died last night when a fire broke out in his mobile home. The state fire marshal is still trying to figure out what sparked the fire at the Westgate Mobile Manor on 46th Avenue. Officials say it is not suspicious. 41-year-old Randy Reed lived in the house with his mother. She wasn't home at the time. Reed couldn't get out. Firefighters found him near the bathroom. All right, we need something to distract us from all the serious news.
Up a little.
Bowl games, battles, rivalries, a New Year's Day staple for college football fans.
Yeah, and right here in the Bay Area, a lot of folks fleeing freezing temperatures are here for today's Outback Bowl. Fox 13's Kelly Cowan is live at Raymond James Stadium, where the fans are getting ready for a pep rally. And I'm guessing the weather in South Carolina and Michigan, they're loving this today. My guess. I'm just guessing. Kelly, good morning.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a pretty good guess, Laura. Good morning to you as well. Should we go last names today since we're doing so many sporty things and I always call Walter by his last name anyway? We'll just go Moody and Ellen today. Call me Cowan. We'll just take it all the way sports. But of course, we get to the weather and we talk about those single-digit temperatures that are going on in the rest of the country, especially if you are up in Michigan. We know so many Michigan fans are in town. They probably saw this particular bowl and were like, oh yeah, we're going there come January 1st. And that's exactly what we're seeing all over the Tampa Bay area this weekend. Just Michigan fans everywhere, a sea of blue as these fans descend on Tampa Bay to get ready for the Outback Bowl. Now, I know a lot of both Michigan and South Carolina fans are probably looking at me right now and thinking, it's 60 degrees, girl. Why do you have such a heavy coat on? That's because, as we've heard, this temperature is going to change throughout the morning and throughout the day. And I would not sleep on bringing some warm weather gear if you're coming down to the game. I would also not sleep on bringing your rain gear because we know we could have a soggy start to the tailgate season out here today and the beginning of the game as well. So as we said, Gamecock fans and Michigan fans all over the place this weekend and looking to get this day off on the right start. Now, these teams are not unfamiliar with one another here in Tampa Bay. They have met in the not so distant past. The Gamecocks edged the Wolverines 33-28 on this field back in 2013 at the Outback Bowl. Now, this year, both teams are coming in with 8-4 records, matching records, but Michigan fans haven't had too much to smile about this season. After starting out 4-0, things started to sputter off a bit for the Wolverines, and they end up dropping their 4 meatiest matches of the season and losing to their biggest rivals, Ohio State, Michigan State, Penn State, and Wisconsin. South Carolina, meanwhile, is a team that most experts are unanimously almost picking to come out on top today. In their second year under Will Muschamp's tutelage, they have improved to a winning overall record and a winning SEC record, and they also finished second in the SEC East. Now, as our sports extraordinaire slash producer slash editor, Chris Ninehouse, has pointed out to me, there is another layer to this game as well, and that is bragging rights when it comes to these conferences. So far, the Big Ten, a perfect 7-0 in their bowl games, and Michigan could make it a perfect 8-0 if they take this game. South Carolina, meanwhile, looking to improve that SEC record, which is a measly 1-3 so far in bowl games. And the reason why this matters, if anybody out there is wondering, is because a lot of Big Ten fans are feeling a little slighted this year because they were shut out of a chance for the championship, to play for the national championship, the SEC getting 2 slots in there. So plenty to talk about, as always, when it comes to college football playoffs and these bowl games, guys.
That's right. That's a good way to put it. All right, Kelly, thank you.
Another Florida bowl game happening today, just hours away from the Citrus Bowl. LSU, a slight favorite to beat Notre Dame. Both teams ranked in the top 25, both looking for 10-win seasons. This will be the 12th time these two teams have played each other, with the Irish owning a slight edge, 6-5 over the Tigers.
All right, straight ahead, a pet treat meant to delight could be dangerous for your dog. We're going to hear one man's very expensive warning for pet owners everywhere.
Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is reporting that levels of people getting sick with the flu now are higher than they've been in the last 2 years. Find out what you can do to protect yourself from all that sniffling, sneezing, and wheezing happening around you.
We got a cold front coming through the area here as we usher in New Year's Day. So happy New Year to you. We got some showers, but it's not really the rain. It's going to be the wind and the cooler air coming in behind this front. So we're not going to get much warmer than we are right now. In fact, I see temperatures falling throughout the day, and then late this afternoon, mostly cloudy with highs back into the mid-50s.
You're watching Good Day Tampa Bay.
Flu season has kicked off in full force. 36 states now report widespread flu activity.
Luckily, Florida isn't one of them, but the state's Department of Health say the numbers are creeping up. Fox's Holly Bristow has more on the bug and how we all can stay healthy.
It's mostly fever, dry cough, sore throat, runny nose, nasal congestion, and of course headache. Those seem to be the main symptoms that people are getting.
Dr. Richard Bost is talking about the flu. He's been seeing patient after patient suffering from those symptoms.
It just seems to be more cases.
The Centers for Disease Control is reporting the levels of people getting sick with the flu now are higher than they've been in the past 2 years. The Florida Department of Health is saying that 48 outbreaks of influenza have been reported since the start of the 2017-18 season. Dr. Bost predicting this is just the start of it.
As the new year moves on, it'll get a little worse.
Like in
January, February.
Right now, statewide, the CDC says they're seeing mostly influenza A, type H3. What's to blame for more folks sick with flu this season?
Apparently, the vaccine has not been as effective as it's been in the previous years.
Statistics saying the flu shot is just 36 to 39% effective. The CDC and this doc are still recommending you get vaccinated.
It is much worse to get influenza than it is to get the vaccine, and the vaccine will probably be effective even into early March.
Now, along with getting your flu shot, to avoid getting the flu this year, doctors recommend that you stay away from anybody who's sick, particularly those who are coughing and sneezing. Also, be sure to wash your hands often. And if you are sick, do us all a favor and stay home. Keep those germs to yourself. In Lake Mary, Holly Bristow, Fox News.
Maybe I could start with keeping the sink clean.
It wasn't the best sink, was it? But, you know, it is everywhere right now, and it's lasting a long time.
Yep.
You know, weeks. You know, it goes on for a week, and it just lingers.
Yep. I know a lot of people. Big changes coming up.
You say it's going to get colder by the hour today.
This is one of those days where we're going to really get our high temperatures first thing in the morning, and then we're going to slowly begin to slip our temperatures back during the afternoon. You know, we'll start with Sky Tower radar, and here's your front. And as the front's coming in, we're beginning to see a few showers. Now, any rain that we do get to kick off this new year is not going to be all that big a deal. So we're going to get some showers probably through early this afternoon. And then the north wind is really going to take over, and that's going to start to drive temperatures down, going backwards. So while we start at 64 in Palm Harbor and 60 in New Tampa, upper 50s in Sun City Center, Apollo Beach is at around 60 degrees. Notice to the north how the colder air, like we'll say, for instance, Crystal River, it's starting to slip in because the front is through at least half of Citrus County so far. So the colder air is going to start to slide in. And even though we kind of keep the clouds around, you're going to get that raw, kind of breezy, chilly feeling to the atmosphere as we get into the afternoon. I mean, look at this. Look at to the north. Wow, it's 19 in Dallas, 16 in Birmingham. So you can see, no, it's not going to get that cold here. But some of that cold air going to spill in, not to mention the incredibly dry air as well. So here's what happens. A couple of quick showers, and it turns breezy and much cooler. So while we start the day for a lot of us in the upper 50s, we're going to finish today in the lower 50s. So we're slowly going to drop those temperatures this afternoon. Going to be out and about tonight. For Floridians, it's winter jacket time. 40 degrees, but you're going to factor in the wind, and it's going to feel closer to 30, okay? So wind chills will be an issue tonight. Then tomorrow, breezy, high temperature 58 degrees. We got an extended stretch of weather with highs in the 50s, including more rain on Wednesday, and then finally returning to sunshine for Thursday and for Friday. And overnight low temperatures as we go into this upcoming weekend are going to be in the 30s for everybody. Wow. This may be our 1 week of winter.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dave.
Thanks, Dave. 6:21 the time. Coming up on Good Day Tampa Bay, a plane crash in Costa Rica claims the lives of 10 Americans on board. Latest on the investigation into what caused it to go down.
And a consumer alert on a treat you might have given your pet this Christmas. Find out what to look for to protect your pet.
Got a consumer alert for you on a Christmas treat you may have given your pet this year. One consumer says Christmas treats got stuck in for 3 days inside a dog's throat.
Yeah, but removing it cost the owner thousands of dollars. Fox's Emily Allen has this warning for other dog owners. Watch this.
All right, you guys.
For Lyman Sutherberg's Chihuahua Kona, her walk through life almost ended steps too soon.
We've had her 13 years. So
a big investment in our hearts, and we hope that we don't lose her that way.
Sutherberg says this good dog got a bad treat.
You assume a little safety is involved when you buy these things, and you get them home and find out something like this has happened.
Kona and Carlisle started chewing on these at Christmas.
And I noticed at one point, you know, they kind of got down to a nub, and I looked at them and I go, wow, I just had this fleeting thought of choking hazard.
But Carlisle finished his treat, and Sutherberg thought Kona did too. But for 3 days after, the dog just wasn't right.
She couldn't keep anything down for a minute, retching, you know, immediately after she ate something, and almost choking, you know, gave me concern.
Turns out that treat was stuck inside Kona's throat.
It's an interesting shape because it definitely lodged and didn't move once it got in there. And it was able to get pretty far down the track.
It cost $3,000 at the vet to get that treat out. An expensive scare Sutherberg hopes other dog owners can avoid.
I think the word has to get out that there is a risk here. And the more people know of the risk, perhaps they can make adjustments in what they're giving their dogs. And also manufacturers may take a look and say, hey, you know, is there something we can do better here? Come on, you guys.
So while Kona strides forward,
step up.
Her owner
heel.
Certainly won't forget the scary sidestep.
And that was Fox's Emily Allen reporting for us there. In 2006, a dog owner filed a $5 million lawsuit against a dog treat company that made a similar product. The treat got stuck inside the dog's intestine, did not dissolve, and the dog ended up dying.
New Year is here, and we are just hours into our New Year's resolutions. Find out more on how to keep your resolutions, especially the workout one. Plus,
10 Americans are dead in a plane crash in Costa Rica. I'm Kelly Wright in New York. Details coming up.
You're watching Good Day Tampa Bay.
Good morning, everybody. 6:30 on the button. I'm Walter Allen.
And I'm Laura Moody. Thanks for waking up with us this morning, and Happy New Year to all of you. There's some of the top stories that we are following this morning. A Colorado deputy is dead and several others injured after being shot at more than 100 times. Deputies were responding to a disturbance call at an apartment complex near Denver on Sunday. Douglas County Deputy 29-year-old Zachary Parrish was killed. He was one of the first people struck by the bullets. Other deputies say they tried to pull Parrish from the line of gunfire, but the barrage of bullets forced them to retreat. The suspected shooter is an Iraq War veteran with no criminal history. However, officials say that he has posted several online YouTube rants against local law enforcement.
Chief Justice John Roberts is joining the national reckoning on the issue of sexual harassment in the workplace. In his annual report on the federal judiciary, Chief Justice promised a careful evaluation of the judiciary's sexual misconduct policies. In recent months, there have been numerous allegations of high-profile people committing sexual misconduct in the workplace. In Roberts' 16-page report, he stated he has great confidence in the men and women in the judiciary, and he's sure they have no tolerance for harassment.
A new year means new laws in effect. More than 6 dozen marijuana retailers are open for business this morning in California. Today starts the legal retail cannabis sales. For 2 decades, medical marijuana has been legal there. The agency so far has issued more than 300 licenses statewide for marijuana distributors, for retailers, and for cultivators. In Sacramento, the state's capital, at least 4 shops have received licenses to begin selling recreational adult-use marijuana starting today.
President Trump spent New Year's Eve at Mar-a-Lago, his estate in West Palm Beach. Every year, a New Year's Eve bash is held there. First Lady Melania and the president's sons, Barron, Eric, and Donald Jr. were on hand. On his way into the celebration, Mr. Trump spoke with reporters and wished them a Happy New Year.
To a developing story we continue to follow this morning. A family of 5 from New York is among the 10 U.S. citizens killed in a plane crash in Costa Rica. The group was reportedly finishing up their vacation. Fox News correspondent Kelly Wright reports.
A fiery plane crash in Costa Rica kills 10 Americans and 2 locals, everyone on board. Officials releasing these photos and videos of the crash site showing the burning wreckage. 5 of the 10 Americans were from the same New York family. The Steinbergs hailed from the Scarsdale area and were vacationing in Costa Rica. The family was reportedly very involved in philanthropy and the local Jewish community. The single-engine charter plane went down in a wooded area Sunday, not long after takeoff. It was a Cessna 208B Grand Caravan headed to San Jose. The pilot is said to be an experienced professional. According to Costa Rican aviation officials, the aircraft passed a safety inspection only a month ago.
It goes through an inspection for airworthiness and functionality that permits operations such as those it was carrying out.
The crash is still under investigation, but there were strong winds in the morning that forced a change in the itinerary. Costa Rica's former president, who served from 2010 to 2014, says the pilot was her cousin. In New York, Kelly Wright, Fox News.
Weather-wise this morning, here comes our cold front. We've got some showers on Sky Tower radar. Really, the rain that we're going to get this morning, it's going to be mostly light, okay? Maybe a couple of moderate downpours. That should be about it, though. It's not a big rain event for us, but it will be a big wind and cold event as our temperatures, boy, they start that slide backwards. So we'll be about 60 degrees today with a few showers, especially this morning. Then what we're going to do is knock it down to about 40 tonight. But oh boy, 58 for a high tomorrow and only 57 for a high on Wednesday. So as the colder air settles in, this is going to be like that 1 week out of the year where temperature is going to run about 12 to 14 degrees below normal. So this is the week. This is your sweater week. I'm giving you a heads up. Okay? Okay.
We don't mind it. Thank you, Dave. All right, this puts it all in perspective for us, right? How lucky we are. Check out just how cold it is in South Dakota. Water instantly freezes. You can see the liquid turning as soon as the woman throws up the cup. There it is. Watch it. At the time, it was -5 before factoring in the wind chill. It's going to be even colder today, with temperatures expected to brush up against -20. However, Tuesday will be a comparative heat wave, 15 degrees above zero. Looks fun.
Put those jackets away, you're fine.
When it's that cold, that's all you got to do to entertain yourself. Have at it.
Oh, don't miss it at all. Winter weather, unlike anything else, one area in northern Washington state is frozen over.
Yeah, Fox's Jamie Tompkins has the story of that.
In Whatcom County, Kim Barber captures moments frozen in time. Literally.
Yeah, no, out here it's just fun anytime you have a big weather event like this to come out and document it and take pictures.
Barber's niece Stephanie is visiting from Lacey, and she can't believe the sights. Frozen grass, frozen power poles, even frozen power lines.
I've never seen anything like this, honestly.
Stephanie calls it breathtaking, and the temps dip so low they could take your breath away.
I was expecting maybe a little bit of snow. I wasn't expecting ice.
While things seemed quiet in the daylight, it was a rough night for many. Puget Sound Energy says they had approximately 40 broken power poles and 30,000 feet of line on the ground. The remnants still lying across the road this afternoon.
Just the down power lines and the down power poles for sure, all the road closures. Driving home last night from work on the south end of Bellingham, it was completely clear and nothing, and then suddenly you hit kind of Smith Road and north and Hannigan, and it just became very icy and crunchy and down trees and branches all the way home. Lots of road closures.
Thousands were reported without power, and Puget Sound Energy snapped photos of multiple downed power lines. PSC reported about 20,000 customers had lost power in Bellingham and north of the city near the Canadian border. Barber, she lost power too, but got it back early this morning.
I heard power crews in the driveway at about 12:30, and about 1 a.m. the power came back on.
Oof.
Brings back good memories of life in Denver, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's miserable. Florida regulators say temperatures rose to 99 degrees in the sweltering nursing home following Hurricane Irma. 12 residents, they died in that South Florida nursing home after the storm. A Sun Sentinel report says a new document filed by the Agency for Healthcare Administration says temperatures climbed highest on the second floor of the rehabilitation center at Hollywood Hills after the facility lost air conditioning. The deaths prompted the governor to enact immediate changes to nursing homes' ability to provide generators in emergencies.
People on the Florida Turnpike can get free coffee today. Drivers can pick up a free cup of joe at the plazas along the Turnpike. Freebie is offered tonight at 11, and it'll continue until 6 a.m.
There's a new addition at the Lion Country Safari near West Palm Beach. The zoo welcomed a healthy newborn zebra on Saturday. The drive-through safari park now has 61 zebras on its property, the largest herd in North America.
All right. 20 minutes away from the top of the hour now. The New Year's Day means many college football bowl games.
And in Tampa, the celebrations for the Outback Bowl have been going on for a few days now, with last night's parade bringing together fans from Michigan and South Carolina. Oh, what a battle it's going to be. Foster 2's Kelly Cowan is live at Raymond James Stadium, where the Big Ten's going to go up against the SEC. He'll see if the Big Ten can stay undefeated.
Hey, good morning to you guys. Well, we've been talking about the possibility of rain and a soggy tailgate, and now we're finally seeing it. The rain has started to pick up a little bit down here, so a word of caution to anybody that's heading out to the game today. Make sure you bring an umbrella, some rain gear. We know these teams are coming from much further north and much colder places, but the temperatures, as you've heard Dave say all morning long, are going to drop today. So even if Michigan fans are sitting at home right now and laughing at me in this coat, it is because we are expecting colder temperatures later on. So just a word of caution, wear whatever it is, Michigan fans, that you will be comfortable in about 50-degree temperatures, and I'm sure that's just shorts, but I warned you, okay? So we have seen Michigan and South Carolina fans out in full force in the Bay Area all weekend long as they get set for this game. Now, these two teams are no strangers to each other in the Outback Bowl. In fact, they met in the not-so-distant past when the Gamecocks edged the Wolverines 33-28 on Raymond James Field back in 2013. Now, it was a fairly forgettable game, save for one of the biggest plays and perhaps one of the most memorable moments of that entire season, maybe of the century for South Carolina fans. It came on the final play of the game. A word of caution, Michigan fans out there, what you are about to see may make you cringe all over again, so just avert your eyes. Let's see that play.
Pressure! Clowney just dives in, hits the defender, the ball's on the ground. The Gamecocks have it! The Gamecocks have it! The Gamecocks take it over! Clowney just burst through.
Just an incredible ending to the 2013 Outback Bowl. Now, was that the biggest hit in Outback Bowl history? I haven't seen every single hit in Outback Bowl history, but I'd like to wager that it was, and I'm sure it's one that Vincent Smith would certainly like to forget. Many Michigan fans want to forget that one as well. Sorry in advance for showing that to you, and a word of caution, I will continue showing it all morning long because that is such a phenomenal hit. So this game kicking off at noon today. Will we see another one of those big plays? We will just have to wait and see. The gates are opening up at 10:30 inside the stadium. The lots at 8. Again, you can probably see what it's doing out here. Bring an umbrella, fans. Guys.
Yeah. Although by noontime, by game time, Dave says it's mostly going to be moved out. So we'll keep our fingers crossed on that. And that play doesn't get any less painful the more we see it. It just looks so painful. All right, Kelly, we'll see you next hour.
I feel like it just gets better.
You know what? And I think other people think you're right, too. All right, we'll move on. Thank you. We'll talk to you later, Kelly.
Not unless you've been on the receiving end of one of those.
Yeah.
Because when I was a sophomore in high school, we practiced with the seniors, meaning we were the dummies.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you took a few hits, huh?
Oh, yeah.
All right. When Good Day continues, we got to check your New Year's Day weather.
And I've never been the same since. And a new year means new protests stirring in the Middle East. Find out what the Trump administration can anticipate in the coming year in the war on terror.
And now, Fox 13 meteorologist Dave Osterberg with your Sky Tower radar forecast.
6:45. Happy New Year, everybody. And this is what I got for you. Ooh, I got a chilly stretch of weather ahead. And look at these 50s for highs. We may do it 5 days in a row. The average high temperature is at 70. And this is what's starting the process. We do have some showers this morning, and it's really, mostly light rain, a couple of sprinkles here and there. So as this continues to glide through the area, behind it, the winds are shifting back to the north. And as we do that, we're just literally opening up the door to drag in much, much cooler air. It's 64 in Tampa. It's not getting any warmer than that. 63 in St. Petersburg. But then you go to the north, notice Crystal River sitting at 50 degrees this morning because the front is through. Where else? Okay, the front's through Crystal River. The front is now through Brooksville and Leesburg. So it's right about here, moving into Pasco County now. As it continues to slide southward, you'll see all these little arrows start to shift to, north to south direction. That's your indication that the front is through. We'll follow that with the drier, cooler air. And boy, this is one of those weeks where it's just going to be solid, unseasonably cool weather. Highs will be way below normal. Lows will be way below normal. And for some of us, we'll be dealing with wind chill advisories come tomorrow morning. So if you're trying to think of, okay, how do I dress for the game today? Well, I think it's going to be kind of raw and breezy and cold. And then during the Outback Bowl, what's going to happen is the temperature is going to start to fall. So just keep that in mind. I think the rain will be gone. It's just going to be kind of a raw, chilly day around here. So temperatures kind of start in the 60s, drop all the way back into the 50s. But tonight, check this out, going down to 40 degrees with tomorrow's high around 58. 57 on Wednesday. Reinforcing cool air comes in for Thursday. So you come into Friday morning and look at these lows. They're going to be sitting in the upper 30s for Friday morning and for Saturday morning.
All right, Dave, thank you. 6:47 the time. Tensions continue along the Gaza border after President Trump recognized Jerusalem as Israel's capital earlier this month. But Washington is promising to be a peacekeeper in the 2018 year, despite the declaration. Fox News correspondent Connor Powell is in Jerusalem with more.
The new year seems set to bring the possibility of more conflict and political unrest to the Middle East. 2018 starts with the militant group ISIS largely defeated and barely clinging to a fraction of the territory it once controlled. But what happens next with the terror group is still very much a question. There are fears that ISIS will morph into a more traditional terror group, sending followers from Iraq and Syria to Europe or even the United States to launch attacks. The Trump administration has vowed to prevent that from happening. Meanwhile, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict is once again front and center on the world stage following President Trump's unilateral decision to recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. That move setting off violent clashes here in Jerusalem and the Palestinian areas and demonstrations around the world. We'll be watching to see what impact, if any, President Trump's announcement has on the stalled peace process, and if any other countries follow the U.S. and announce their intention to move their embassy to Jerusalem. So far, only Guatemala has said it would. But it is Yemen that looks set to consume much of America's attention in 2018. The U.S.-backed, Saudi-led bombing campaign there to oust the Iranian-linked Houthi rebels has made a bad situation into a full-fledged humanitarian crisis. With tensions heating up between Iran and Saudi Arabia, Yemen could very well bear the brunt of it and spark a wider conflict in the region. In Jerusalem, Connor Powell, Fox News.
All right, we definitely want to switch gears and get to this. The Bucks, they played like we expected from them all season from start to finish. Last night's win over the Saints, it ends a 5-game losing streak as the Bucks avoid a complete sweep of the NFC rivals. Bucks season came down to the final drive. Started at the 5, 2 minutes left. A throw to Cameron Brate, got him a first down. Throw to Mike Evans, got out of bounds. And then there's a throw to Adam Humphries for 10 yards. Humphries over 100 yards receiving. And there it is. The game winner to Chris Godwin. And they beat the New Orleans Saints 31-24. They were heavy dogs in this game.
God, it felt so good to watch it too, you know.
We were having dinner last night, and all of a sudden the place just, the bar area erupted.
So were we. I know. It was, and this is what Jameis Winston needed. This is a good way to go into the off season and then come back strong.
Yeah.
Because the town's rooting for them.
They needed a little pep in their step.
Yes, they
going
did.
Into the offseason,
and they got it. They did.
All right, hours into this New Year's resolution, do you have a plan for success? If weight loss is a goal, we'll have some secrets to success.
And if you're waking up with the effects of your New Year's celebration last night, find out how to conquer that hangover. We'll be right back.
All right, if you're waking up with us this morning and you're a little hungover, here are a few quick tips to help you recover. First, drink plenty of water. Alcohol does dehydrate you. That's kind of what the hangover is. You're dehydrated. And water will replace some of those lost fluid. Drink an isotonic sports drink as well. Sports drink will also replace fluids and give you some much-needed energy. Fruit juice is a great way to get vitamins and minerals, plus Some are generally high in fructose, which is sugar that affects your energy as well of the functioning of your liver. And make yourself a plate of eggs. Eggs are an excellent thing to combat the hangover. They contain amino acids, which your body will be very happy to receive after a bout of drinking. What's that word?
Cysteine?
Cysteine? We'll go with that. It works to break down the toxins. Whatever that is, it works to break down toxins that'll make you feel unwell after drinking, plus help cleanse your body of those leftover toxins.
Yeah.
So eat the eggs.
All right. Maybe you want to sweat it out, though. Maybe you want to just get to the gym. Maybe it's your New Year's resolution, like it is for millions of others. Jen Epstein is talking with the experts this morning, the fitness experts, about how to make that resolution and keep it. That's the hard part, right, Jen? Good morning. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everyone. It's 2018.
I know.
Does it feel any different?
No, but Walter says that even years are lucky years, so bring it on.
Oh, so it's going to be a year of luck. I like that. You guys have any New Year's resolutions?
Nope. Don't make them.
Oh.
Just try your best every day to be your best.
I like that. How's it working out for you?
So far, so good, but it's
you
early.
You are the best, aren't you?
It's early still.
How's that working out?
How's that working out? I don't have no New Year's resolutions either, other than kind of financial New Year's resolutions. I've got that every year. It never works out right. But if your New Year's resolution is to get fit, boy, do I have an inspiration for you this morning. We are at the BOD Fitness Center. We're in Tampa. It's a family-owned operation, very cool organization. We have the BOD man with us this morning. Dan Hernandez, good morning.
Good morning.
And when I talk about inspiration, you can check her out behind us. When I say family,
that's right. This is my wife.
This is your wife? Hey, good morning.
One of our trainers also working out
this
morning.
She is working hard this morning. Yeah, she is. So tell us a little bit about your gym. There's so many that are popping up all over the place. What makes the BOD Fitness Center different than others?
Sure. So we specialize in group fitness. So we have high energy, high impact classes that are designed for a broad age range, men and women. Unlike other gyms where you might lift heavy or be very equipment based, we take people into a classroom or boot camp setting and give them an hour in high intensity interval training where they're going to do a lot of plyometrics, lighter weights for an extended period of time, and we keep it energized and enthusiastic, so it keeps people coming.
And we're going to show them that coming up a little later in the 8 o'clock hour. It's kind of like a nightclub in there. That's what I'm calling it.
That's right.
So even though you're not focused on equipment per se, you still have the cardio over here. You've got the weights over there. So anyone who wants to kind of delve into that as well, you've got a little best of both worlds.
So in addition to the group fitness classes, we also offer a fully equipped gym for our members to use at their leisure. So if they want to lift very heavy, I've got a rack system and universal bars and weights, hammer strength training equipment, cable equipment. So it offers them a variety so they can take our classes and complement that with whatever type of fitness program they'd like to go through.
And I think people see the both of you and say, yeah, it's easy for you guys to talk about fitness, but you know what it's like to have to lose weight and get in shape, because you said you lost 70 pounds?
I did. So before I got into the fitness industry, I was an executive with a company. I was leading a very unhealthy lifestyle. I ate horribly, I traveled a lot, I didn't work out at all, but I felt healthy because I hadn't gone to a doctor. So I took a physical 1 year, and the doctor told me, Dan, you got to do something different. I got passionate about fitness.
And look at him now. It can work for anyone. So if it's your resolution for 2018 to get fit and stay fit, we'll be out at the BOD Fitness Center all morning long with some tips, including how to eat right. Stay with Good Day. We'll be back after the break.